The Adrian Salisbury Facebook page, Pro Video Made Easy Facebook group, and to my YouTube channel. So I hope you're getting this feed come through. Do let me know as soon as you see it, and give me a shout out in the comments and it will pull it through. But I'm really excited and pleased. I've got Annie who's on with me today, and we're going to be looking at how to confidently be yourself on video. So it's a great topic for us to cover here on video. I've known Annie for a long time, and really pleased to have her come on the call with me today. And so I'm not going to keep her waiting any longer. Here she is. Annie, hi and welcome.
Hi, Adrian. Thank you so much for having me. This is a blast. I love being a guinea pig. It's fun to take a walk on the razor's edge.
I was going to say, you really are a guinea pig with me on here today. And I'm testing this out as we go. Wouldn't normally be doing this, but we're actually just going to pull this in and make sure that I've got a feed coming into here in front of me that's coming in from the page and from YouTube. Part of the reason I was keen to do this is that we did it recently, and actually I did a live over to the Facebook page and to YouTube testing this out, and had way more engagement on YouTube than Facebook. Yet I never normally go live to Facebook, so
Wow.
to YouTube. So it's actually I've been testing this, thinking which channel do I go to, and where really are my audience. So it's been really good. Kenneth's on already. Kenneth's on from Facebook. Hi, good morning back to you, Kenneth. Rachel's on saying that Facebook's working, YouTube's working. Fantastic.
Nice.
Looks like it's all going well. Of course it is. We didn't query it at all.
No.
Did we? In fact, Annie and I just prayed just before we came on. So what could go wrong, eh?
Covered as much as we can.
Absolutely. So Annie, how about you just introduce yourself to us. Tell the guys that are watching, who is Annie Berryhill and why you're here?
Well, my name, again, is Annie Berryhill, and I like to call myself a healthy lifestyle strategist. But lately, I've really discovered I'm more of an edu-trainer.
Okay.
Or an what do you call it? Entertainer. An
Right.
entertainment trainer. So, and it's really because what I specialize in, and I come from a nutrition background, a fitness background, and what I discovered through that whole journey of working with women is it's never really about the food, and it's never really about the body. It's really about what's going on inside that isn't fixed yet. And I think that really is where we get our confidence, when we can go through life not worrying about being judged for who we are, how we look, what we do or don't accomplish, how well our kids act. When we can develop that, then it's really powerful. And so last year I started a podcast. I'm going to do a shameless plug. It's called The Bold, Brave, and Sassy Show. And sassy to me is being unapologetically confident in who God made you to be. And it's like just walking that girl, like shoulders back and just walk it out. So we've had a blast on that show, just having conversations with amazing experts in different fields. So that's really what I'm focusing on this year, and really helping women to have that breakthrough and that transformation into just walking out, being sassy and confident, and, having just that shift happen.
Yeah. And I can remember chipping in actually, because you'd posted into Business by Design, a group that we were both in. And I'd come back and said, can a man be sassy?
I know, I love it. I've actually had one male guest on the show, and it was really fun because he really played along with the sassy thing. So if sassy means unapologetically confident, then it's open to the human race.
We're all good. Excellent. I don't want to think we're eliminating people. Kenneth's chipping in on here. Good to have you here, Kenneth. So we don't want Kenneth tuning out because all of a sudden he thinks he can't be sassy. And
sassy all day.
So this isn't just about video. This is in general in life then, about being confident and being bold.
It is for sure.
Where is this coming from? We've obviously got a faith, and I know that's very much a big part of it for you, isn't it? But is it purely the Christian ladies?
Well, that's where I start from. So when I have people come on my show, I like to have people have the same sort of foundation as I do, but it's not exclusive to just Christians, because at the end of the day, I listen to stuff that isn't Christian and learn from it. I learn from teachers because it's the human experience. And I would like to think that people who aren't, Jesus fearing, believing, born again Christians are listening to the show because it is about growth. It is about personal growth. It is about getting to that higher and higher level and version of yourself. And, we can glean good stuff from a lot of different places.
Yeah, so, fantastic. Okay, so Annie, shall we kick off and have a start talking about video then? So I know when we chatted originally and we were saying, I just had you on my radar really, and I thought, I want Annie on the show. I don't really know what we're going to talk about. And I reached out to you and said, what does this look like? And you came up with this title really of how to be confident, how to confidently be yourself on video, which is obviously a perfect fit for the audience that are tuning in today. So you've given me 3 points on here, and I've printed this out. Annie's made a lovely little document here that I've just printed out myself in front of me, and we will make it available to you. So if you're watching along and you want this, just put download in the comments. I'd like to say that I've got ManyChat working and it will automatically ping, but I will confess that either Annie or I are going to end up sending it to you. But
old-fashioned.
We don't mind. Yeah, that's right. We'll put it in the post. So Annie, do you want to take us through this? We've got 3 points on here. Let's start these off, and we'll just have a chat about these points as we go.
Absolutely. Well, your audience is very interested in producing quality videos, both from the tech side and the content side. And this is not exactly about the content, but it's about you and your part of it, because it's really a three-legged stool. You got to be able to show up and have something work, and then you got to have good stuff to share, but then you have to be confident to actually do the work of sharing. And I know for so many people, it is very difficult. Now, I personally know that I have a bit of an advantage being an extrovert. I think, Adrian, you fall into that category as well. And introverts will typically say, oh, it's just because you're outgoing. And we definitely have an advantage because we're not afraid to talk or, discuss ideas or put ourselves out there. And I get that. But even if you are the introverted style, the introverted sort of personality type, that doesn't mean you can't do it. It absolutely is. It has nothing to do with it. You just have to decide that who you are and what you have to share has someone out there who needs to hear it. And
Absolutely.
So my very, very first point in this is just be real.
Yeah.
Each of us has we have amazing gifts and talents and experiences and perspectives that somebody is waiting to hear. And so when we can just be real and show up in those strengths, right? Maybe your strength is tech and all the details and stuff. You know what? You can be that person. There is no wrong way. The only wrong way is showing up like someone else, like you think you have to do it.
Totally agree. Yeah. I'm running a webinar every Wednesday at the minute, and that's one of the things I say in that when I'm saying how to be authentic and be authentic and real, and don't try and be someone else, because you're just going to get yourself tied up in it, right? And and it'll get seen. It'll be very obvious. But I love that, and I think absolutely. And I'm thinking as you're saying it, typically an online coach or a course creator knows they've got something that they want to share, and that's why they're in this position, right? It's exactly. We wouldn't be here if we were going, well, I don't know what I've got to bring. We're here because we've got something we want to bring, and it's just that fear of getting it out, isn't it?
It is. And again, that really goes back to what I talk about a lot, is like, we don't need to fear being judged. The reality is, I think we really make, we really make a big deal about thinking that 1 million people are going to watch us do what we do. I hate to be the one to break it to you, but it might not be that many. It might be your mom and your sister and your best friend. And that's
my wife's watching, actually.
And your wife's watching, right? And that's a good thing. And I'll talk about why that is in a little bit. But what's interesting is that, is that people are very self-absorbed, so when we craft our messages, it is really saying things that are for them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we think that everybody is looking at the details of us, but they're really looking at themselves, thinking how they compare to us or what it means for them.
Yeah.
So that takes a lot of pressure off of you, because people aren't really getting obsessed with you. We're all obsessed with ourselves. I mean, at the end of the day, right? We care more about what we can do. So it's kind of freeing to say, maybe nobody's watching. And how would I act if I knew nobody was watching, or if I knew that my mom
Yeah.
loved everything I did was watching,
Yeah. Or a good friend, a customer that you're already be working with or something. And I was doing this just, I think we mentioned when we spoke last time, that Rachel, my wife's just started doing some videos. I've been pushing her. She's got a business, and she's been unboxing some new products coming and things like this. And she was scared stiff at the thought of going onto YouTube and like exactly what you're saying, to potentially millions of people. And I was just saying to her, look, you've got, and she'd say, I'm doing this for Claire in the group because I know she really wants to see this new warmer that we've, and I'm saying, well, do the video just for her, and imagine it's just her that you're talking to. And that's definitely how I've always approached this. Is when I was originally putting photography training online, I literally pictured that one of my customers sitting in front of me who would normally be there with a smile on his face and a notepad, and that's who I'm picturing in front of me when I'm going live,
Exactly.
or any of my videos. So yeah, love that.
Yeah, and another couple things that go underneath the heading of Be Real is we each have our own communication style. You and I tend to be very expression. We have a lot of expression, use our hands. It's just an outcropping of who we are. But other people may be more sedate or slower in the way that they talk. Again, be you. That's okay. And I get this visual of the people who want to hear your message, who want to spend time watching you, are like that magnetic side of the magnet. And then people who don't want to listen to you because you take too long to make your point. That's just their opinion. That's not real. They're going to be like, guess what? They're not your people. It's okay. Everyone is not your people. Everyone is not my people. People probably think I'm too hyper and they can't keep up with me. That's my husband, by the way, sometimes.
I think this is what I say to the introverts. Not everybody wants an extrovert to turn up and be loud and big, and actually some people are going to resonate way more with that quieter, calmer introvert. And I definitely think if you've already got an audience already, and they can see that this is costly to you to show up, and you're gulping and it's sweating a bit, and they're just gonna be like, come on, we're loving it, thank you for showing up. And I think there's show that, like you say, be real with it all.
And that's exactly what I was gonna say next. Is at the end of the day, you guys, we are all just human. I right now have a little frog in my throat. I don't know why. I'm gonna clear my throat. It's just it's just real. I'm not making a presentation for God about my life. This is us just chatting, just hanging out, just like conveying information one friend to another. So if I have to clear my throat, I have to clear my throat. If you're nervous, it's okay. But just remember, you're loved, you're worthy. What you have to say is going to land on someone, and they needed to hear it. And I can't tell you how many times I have heard that from people where I just go on my Facebook page or whatever, and nobody's watching it. And you see there were like 15 views or something. You're like, oh, nobody commented. I guess it was nothing. Somebody later writes me a private message. Your video today. I just can't. So you don't know who you're impacting. So just show up real. Like people have said, I appreciate you being really real. So that whole thing about being real is sometimes the hardest thing, because you just got to trust that what you have is enough. Who you are is enough. What you know is enough. Right? Not pleasing everybody. So that was point number one. Be real. Be real.
Excellent.
All right. But be real and itch my nose right now. So the next little section is about being ready. This is the mechanical side of things. And Adrian, obviously you are you're the go-to guy with the tech and the setup and all the fun tools and all that. All the minutia we can get sucked down into. The rabbit trail.
Which adds to the pressure.
Yes. The more things you have to manage, the more pressure there is. But, you really want to start when you're getting ready. Be thinking about the audience. Be thinking about the point. So it's like the hero's journey. Where do you want to take them by the end? Where do you want them to arrive? How well do you understand where they're starting? And speaking to that, like I understand that, Christian women feel like they have to have it all together because they have a belief in God and we're God's children and we're supposed to, everything's supposed to line up. And that creates a sort of a tension between what is and what they believe should be. So
Right.
I want to take them on this journey to figure out how they got these crazy beliefs and how they can get free from them, and they can actually walk in that freedom that God, told us we have just by being his kids. So take some time when you're planning to figure out the journey and a little bit of the path. It doesn't have to be long. It's 1 or 2 or 3, like 2 or 3 bullet points, maybe 5.
Yeah.
Have a little bit of time, but attention spans are short. And here's the thing, you don't want to be reading it. So make bullet points, just a little heading, maybe with a little tiny bit, whatever you need to remind you is the important part of that point, because you know your stuff. The fact that you wrote out your outline, the fact that you gave it time to think it through means you know your stuff. You're just going to get on and teach them. And trust me, it's just going to flow. It's amazing. It's just going to flow.
So out of interest, how does Annie do that?
I do exactly what I said. I get a thought, and I think
post-it notes, or is it? I'm curious what you've got that you're looking at. Or
so right now, I took the PDF that I made, and I actually have it taped below my camera so that I can glance at it. Because otherwise,
what? Like I've got mine blue tacked here. We're so old school.
I know. If I had an iPad, maybe I would stick it there and do that. But the truth.
But it might go wrong.
True. Too much technology. I mean, I really feel an onus to my audience to not just sit here and pontificate, to hear my own voice. I am not here to talk about me and to just go on and on. I'm here to teach you something. And I believe that what I was put here to do was teach you what I've learned, what God has shown me through my life, so that I can tell you and I can show you how to integrate it into your life so you can have the transformation. That is my goal. And if I leave it to my own devices, oh my gosh, we could be here for 3 hours. Let's not do that. We're busy. Yeah. Give me the information. Let me do the work. Give me the information. Let me do the work. Or let me think about it, So.
And I think that's, sorry, I just spotted that. Kenneth's just saying that's what he does for presentations at university as well. So,
exactly. It's not new, but it still applies.
That's right. I think that's the fear, certainly with lives. I find I come at a live different to most of my videos are pre-recorded. I'm making them for YouTube or somewhere. I can script it out. I can look at it. I'm actually more and more now using a teleprompter. But I'm liking that because I know that it's on point and I can read it through first. Is there any of that I need to cut out? I do find it the challenge when you come on a live to stick to those points, and certainly when there are comments and things and you start going, oh, there I go, I'm off on one now, and I'm a bit like, it doesn't take much to distract me, and
exactly. And that's another reason why having an outline, especially too, because I think a lot of times when you get nervous, I've done this in a lot of different venues and in a lot of different roles where you're making a point, and then all of a sudden you think about how nervous you are, or you catch someone's eye, or like you said, you read a comment and you can't remember where you were.
Yep. And then terrible.
What am I doing? So to me, it's
Kenneth's just put squirrel. That's exactly the phrase I use. I didn't think anybody else would get that. Yeah. Russell flicks on and saying hi to Adrian and Annie as well. Hi, Russell.
Hey.
So I think that's definitely more of a challenge to it. And I think as we're kind of talking, I'm thinking with the whole, with being real and the communicating as well and getting a message across. We're not just talking about live. This is getting on video. It may well be something that you're putting onto YouTube. And, I still get now kind of 4 or 5 years on from videos that I've done. And I used to put videos up on something on my camera, for instance, that I couldn't get my head around. Why was this thing not working? And then when I suss it out, I make a little how-to video about it. And someone will come back and go, oh, that's taken me days to get my head around this. Finally, I went onto YouTube and there's your answer.
Right.
And I love that. And if you're thinking, okay, I've just solved a problem. I mean, that applies, mine's slightly different to yours in that sense. But to think, I've solved a problem here, I can put this up and I know it will help other people. So you're coming into it with that. I find that different, and I'm a lot more focused and I know where I'm going when I'm doing a video like that. So I think definitely in this bullet points, because you can't script it. You can't have a teleprompter when you're doing a live.
Yeah,
So
it
you
just
do need
doesn't
to
work.
stick.
It's
No.
really, you become really tight. And I'm going to be really, really upfront with you. I've had some training in some stage acting and things like that, which is all,
Okay.
memory.
Yeah.
My memory is not so good, so I probably wouldn't be good at that. But I've tried lately to do some more filmed videos, film ahead that I could put up and using a teleprompter, and I hate it. It feels like jail to me.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm very extemporaneous and I know that the information is in there. So a lot of times when I do this with a teleprompter or I pre-record something is I'll write the whole thing out and I'll
Yep.
read it a couple times. I'll practice saying it out loud, and then I'll actually use a script that is an outline because I know the information,
Yep.
and maybe put an outline and a couple bullet points. Like, this is what you need to remember. So it's like, here's the top, here's the heading.
Yep. Yep.
And then, or the transitional phrase, and then the little bullet points that I just need to talk about, and then it kind of flows from there. Because the other way, I'm like, and then the next thing that you need to do is, it makes me very robotic and it makes me very nervous. So I have to find the hybrid way. I have a hard time with teleprompters, really hard time with teleprompters.
I'm actually looking or considering doing a challenge at the minute. Or a little training on using a teleprompter, because to me it's all about writing the script for the teleprompter. That's the trick, really.
And that's so much work. I mean, because you want to make it human, you want to make it impactful, you don't want to make it too long, but you want to make it conversational. You want to draw them in. It's a very complex process for sure.
I don't find it. I think because I write like I talk anyway.
Somehow I change it in the course of it.
Yeah, but I've done it with a couple of, I don't want to go off on a tangent, but I've done it with a couple of students just recently, and we're going through this challenge and saying, try doing a script, and it is quite bullet pointed, or, and I'm saying that isn't how we'd be talking if we were having this conversation like this. So I actually encourage them to record it into a dictaphone or their phone, and then transcribe from that, really, and just get used to how you talk.
Exactly.
But no, it isn't for everybody.
You let me know when that challenge is, and I'll jump in.
Yeah. There's a few people in a couple of groups I've just been spotting talking about teleprompters, and some go, "Oh, I can't stand using them," and I know it's a bit of a love-hate thing. But I've just found it really powerful, and it's given me a script to put onto a blog post. It's given me the text that I want to put at the bottom of an advert, for instance. So there's a lot of benefits for it, but I know you'd do great without it anyway. So I get that.
There's always room for improvement. So I'm open to learning, especially in this, because I do enjoy this medium, because it does help me to be in the moment and flowing with thoughts, and somehow the adrenaline of being in it makes me very hyper focused, and I can articulate what's in my head a lot better than if I'm just sort of thinking it myself. So for me, that works. I do thrive on that sort of, like I said, the razor's edge personally.
Yeah.
So I kind of touched on these things before, but I want to kind of move us ahead in case anybody has questions.
Yes.
I know life is full, but the last point that I really think is important, and this is sort of a psychological thing, is really to expect that you're going to be received, meaning you're going to be well received. People are going to open their hearts, their heads, their minds, their spirits to receiving who you are and what you have to talk about. And it goes back to what we were saying before, like really when you're looking into the camera, imagine your friend's face on the other side, somebody you really trust, someone who always has your back, someone who, even if you mess up, even if you made a bad choice, they were still there. There was no deal breakers in your relationships.
Yeah.
And that is so comforting to me. And people ask me all the time, like, how are you so comfortable? I'm like, I just imagine there's a friend on the other end. That's
really
simple as that. Yeah. I mean, and I can see your face and your friend, and it makes it super easy to know I'm talking to Adrian. I can't tell who else is here. It's just you and me having a conversation. So, and then, also thinking of it as, and this is hard for women in particular, I think we give so much that we get diluted and diluted in understanding that what we have is actually a gift. And I think a lot of people really are good at giving gifts and it's very easy for us to give as women, not always so easy to receive, but
Yeah.
it's a two-way street. Like when we think about what we have is a gift that God gave us, it's like the parable of the talents. Do we bury it?
Yeah.
Or do we share it and grow it? And the way we share it and grow it is to put it out in the world and let other people benefit. Like you said, I couldn't figure out this problem. I figured it out. I'm going to tell you about it because you might have the same problem. Think of it like that you are sowing good seeds into the world, whether or not you know who cares about this. It doesn't matter. Ours is the responsibility to just give the gift, right?
Yeah.
And, on the tail end of that is receive when somebody says, wow, that was well done. Great job. Don't blow it off. Literally, this is what I have to do is say, thank you. I received that. And take it from their mouth and put it into your soul and let it just cultivate things. It sounds so crazy and woo woo, but honestly, that's what receiving is to take into yourself.
Yeah.
And so it's really just allow that to happen. Give the gift, receive the good stuff and the good feedback that people give you for sharing your gift.
Yeah. And it's a tough one, isn't it? You're instantly like, no,
Exactly. Oh, it's nothing.
Yeah, that's right. It's like the classic is kind of complimenting, somebody's jacket or top. Oh, it's this old thing,
Exactly.
You can never just go, thank you. Yeah.
Yes. I have a lot of people in my life who tell me, just say thank you. Say thank you. Okay. I'll just say thank you. I'm gonna practice. Oh, thank you.
Ken is saying he has trouble with that as well. So we're not alone in this.
Right. I know we all need to hear it. It's I'm not saying this because Annie's the expert. She's got it all figured out. She does it well all the time. I'm telling you this because this is my journey. This is the path that I've had to take, and the little things along the way that I've taken into myself and just stand on to be able to go and make videos. I want to encourage people. I want to, help people move beyond being stuck. That's really my thing is freedom. Like I want you to be free. Whatever that means to you, let's move in that direction. So if these little tips that I've learned through, or, you teach people, great, awesome.
Yeah. And I've seen you showing up on your lives and things as well. And you can see that come through. I think that's what's attracted me to you, really. I'm kind of looking on and thinking, here's Annie. She's confident. She knows what she's about. She's talking on here, and it's contagious. It's enjoyable to watch.
Thank you.
So this is, there you go, yeah. Well done. It's a good job we didn't go. So Annie, how are you working this out with others then? This is what you're doing now, you're saying, yeah? Is helping people in this journey. What does that look like? It's,
with the podcast, I've did my last episode was posted in December. And so I'm gearing up to do some new shows and I've just been using the time to get clear and to get, listening to what this next iteration of me, this next direction, this focus is for me. And so ultimately it's going to be, a situation where I'm working with, women who want to improve and want to have a community of women who want to improve. And that's upcoming in the year. So there'll be where you'll be able to be in a membership group for, whatever, and I'll come in and do a training, and that whole month will be on that topic, and we'll be having little mini assignments, and we'll be having, interaction and encouraging each other along this path. So that's kind of my vision for where it's going. When it's starting, I don't know, but the best way is to just, keep following me and keep your ears peeled because it's going to pop up.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Thank you for asking.
No, lovely. No, I wish you well with it. And I know you've been on a bit of a journey with it and just trying to find exactly what your next chapter is or where that fits really. And I love that you've got that open mind to it really, and very much being led by what's coming up.
Yep.
Best way to be, I think, rather than trying to force something, isn't it? And
oh yeah, that's been the lesson. Just take my hands off of it, and I can't rush the timing. It's like a baby being born. You can't push it out until it's ready. It's just, you can't. It's going to hurt. It's going to rip. It's going to be bad.
Yeah. I've got to say, Russell's just commented on here. Sorry, Annie, he's talking to me. Very impressed with the quality of your video with the blurred background. My camera setup doesn't do that yet. I like the yet bit, but looks good. Thank you very much. There you go. See, I just received
Nice job, Adrian. You're learning.
So Annie, the tip is, the difference between you and I on here is you're close up to your wall. And I've got about, this is a little tip back to Russell there really. Because Annie, you've got a lovely backdrop there. And it's a shame that we've had to crop it because I can only see this bit. And I don't know if you can see that on your side. But we can't actually see much of the image and the plant at the side of you. And that is my very quick little tip. Back to Russell, that's what's going on here is I've got deliberately about 1.5 meters behind me so that it's blurring that, and obviously the camera and the lens and things are complementing that, but that's my tip really. And if possible, push your, I don't know what space you're in there, Annie, actually I don't know. If you could take your camera, and I'm not here critiquing you. It's only that I'm just responding to Russell. But actually, you're a good case as you're sitting there. You would notice a difference to the background if you were able to move away from it. So on my,
as soon as we get done, I'm going to do it. It's taking all my control to not do it right now.
Well, we'll have a go when we'll carry on Skype. Maybe these guys want to keep us on and we'll do it. But when we bring you back for the next chapter, we'll have a look and see what the background's looking like. But that's Russell, if you're interested, and on the page here is a link actually to my webinar tomorrow. Here's my shameless plug now. Come and join me on a webinar tomorrow. But actually, I show you on there some illustrations and some examples of some customers who have changed their backdrop up. And actually, as an illustration, as a diagram that shows you how to set your room up to get this blurred background going on behind. And you can sign up to that on any Wednesday and come and join me on a live webinar. So do come and join me over there. We're gonna get sorted with Annie. I'm excited with that one. So unless we've got any other questions coming through, there you go, Annie. Russell says both backgrounds are awesome. So you're not left out there.
Russell,
thank you, Russell.
I had a lot of pressure getting ready for this event because I just moved into this apartment a week ago, and I had to figure out how to make something sort of nice, close to what Adrian has. So
it looks lovely, honestly. I'm just trying to see if I can hide. Let me take me off of here a minute. Let me have a look. There's Annie. There's full width Annie, so you can see the background that she's got going on there. Lovely. So is that what have you got there, Annie? Is that a screen or a fake background?
It's actually it's printed on like plastic.
Yeah.
And I got it off of Amazon.
Yes. Yeah. No, they're very popular. Amazing. Yeah. And I like that.
It's pretty real. And I like that, I could do some different colors. I'm actually having my friend who's an artist. She's going to make me a bigger one, and it's going to say "Be Bold, Brave, and Sassy" with the same idea.
Oh, super.
Beautiful flower. So it's going to be really customized, probably in a month or so. But it's been fun to have it because I can just come in here, and this is like, you don't have to take anything down and just sit down and just start cranking them out. So I feel really excited to be able to have a dedicated space for it right now.
Absolutely. And again, wasn't planning on plugging it that way, but that's again what we're talking about on the webinar is, getting this background and ideally having one like mine is here. This is my desk where I work. My camera sits in front of me, and when I come on a live like this, I literally flick it on, and the background is there and set. And I think rather than having to think, I need to make a video. Oh no, I need to get the camera out. I need to go and clear the room, and I don't know. I'm not saying I don't know how you feel about this, Annie, but. Certainly, Russell, what I've done is, and again, you'll see it on the webinar, I've got some fantastic examples of a nice little studio set like this, and then we've got the behind the scenes where you can see the rest of the room, and it's a total mess, and there's all this boxes piled up and things like that, and again, I'm saying, if you've got a couple of meters width at the back of you there. That's all you need, and no one can even see what's actually. If you can see in this room at the minute, I've got sharks and whales and all sorts on the floor, inflatable ones, because we've got a big Easter treasure hunt coming up on Friday, and so come Thursday, I should be taking the day off and blowing all these things up and putting them out on the lake. So. Yeah, you'd never believe what was in my office, and here I sit in this nice, slick little.
Exactly. I'm with you.
So excellent. Yeah. So good tips. Great. Russell was saying he's going to be there. Excellent. That's what we like to hear, Russell. Well, I'll look out for you. Give me a shout out over there. Russell says, turn the camera around and let's look at the boxes. Actually, Russell, do you know what? Well, could I? No, I'm scared of breaking the thing. I should actually be able to pull up my. No, I'm not going to do it.
You can see mine right here. You can see.
Hang on, let me flick me out of the way. Ah, yeah, there you go. Excellent.
So it's like both sides. It's only that wide.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Have it like centered so that you can just to the edges of it.
So that, in fairness, is going to be the only downside with that, Annie. Yeah. Sadly, if for you to move away from it.
Although I think though that what could happen is that I can move it away if I take a tighter camera angle, right? So I'm not necessarily, it's not going to be wide because it's going to be focused on me. Maybe this also is taller than it is wide, which would look kind of weird if the wood's up and down, and that's why I didn't do it that way. But that is kind of an option.
Okay.
But for now it works.
So maybe it's designed for portraits. It's a photography background more than anything, isn't it?
They didn't know about your tip with the 3 meters.
Shocking.
Jeez, put a little note in there.
You'll have to get another one and just stick them side by side.
I know. It's good.
Right, excellent. No, thanks ever so much.
Thank you.
That's been great. I got a few other people that I can see that are on. Thank you ever so much, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this. I did say at the start, if you want this document, this cheat sheet that Annie's put together, then just say download in the comments there, and very untechnically, I will send you one.
Right. I appreciate that.
But yeah, no, I appreciate you doing it. Thanks so much for coming on and for putting that together for the audience so that they've got something to take away. And I wish you all the best with everything that you're doing.
Thank you.
Let us know when the podcast is live again.
Yep. But it's up there for anybody who hasn't seen it. There's 30 episodes to keep you fed for a while. So
okay. And the topics are, what sort of things are you covering on there?
Oh my gosh, it's everything from. I have had 5 women on there who have PhDs. So we're not messing around. We're not just talking about little stuff. We talk about fitness and nutrition. We talk about getting past your trauma. We talk about some different techniques for getting to the root of what's been holding you back.
Okay.
It's really fun. I mean, I talked to Kim Garst, who is a social media expert, and about, again, showing up confidently on social media and just being yourself on social media. We actually did a 2-part with her. If you follow social media at all, you know who Kim Garst is, and she's wonderful. I've talked to, pastors, and I've talked to, like I said, neuropsychologists. It is the gamut of people who I've spoken to. There's a woman named Shay Bynes who has got a Kingdom Business Academy where she teaches Christian business owners, and she's wrote a book called Grace Over Grind. She is so much fun. She's
got a podcast.
She does. Kingdom
I think
Entrepreneur University or something like that.
Yeah, I've heard her. Yes.
She's great. So all kinds of topics, and the feedback that I typically get, it's like listening to a couple of friends sit on a couch and talk about stuff. And so it's very comfortable. It's very conversational, and ultimately we hope that it's inspiring and that it gives you some idea of actions to take to make a difference, to make that change.
Out of interest, how different do you find that being on podcast rather than being on video? Do you find it a lot more comfortable?
I do video them, so it's really the same. I actually enjoy videoing because I like to see the person. Yeah. And so we will film them that way. So you're filming them at the same time as the... Yeah. Oh, exactly. Okay. So we're typically doing a Zoom, and we're doing side by side so that we can actually have a conversation. At the same time. Yeah. Yeah. And I've not done anything with that, with all that footage. I have to, hire somebody to do all that because
Need a YouTube channel.
Yeah, my YouTube channel. I just need to, just one more thing on the list.
Well, if you need any help, come and find me. There's a few people, there's several people that have put download in here that are interested in that. So thank you ever so much, guys. Someone else is saying they're using one of these backgrounds on Amazon. Russell's saying that. Russell, you're going to send in a screenshot. Brilliant. Absolutely. Russell, I've been running some little ads at the minute, actually just saying, come into my Pro Video Made Easy group. It's a free group. Post a video in there or post a background in there and I'll give you a review of it for free. So do that. Take me up on that and post something into that group if you're not already in there. I don't think you are. There's a few people that are watching in from the group, so that's really cool. But this is so... Again, if you've jumped in since we started, the plan here was that we've gone live here into YouTube, into the Facebook page and into the Facebook group. And I'm just actually, as I say that, got a message saying something went wrong. Oops, reloading the page. So I don't know what that is, but so testing. Thank you, Annie, so much for being my guinea pig and letting me run through this and try it out with you. It's been lovely chatting with you. And I hope you guys have enjoyed it as much as I have. And yeah, thanks ever so much. We'll be in touch, Annie. And I'll reach out to you when you got your new podcast. And those of you guys that have put download on here, or if you watch this in the future and put download, we'll still get something out to you. So thanks ever so much. And remember all that we've got. This is a weekly show now, so I've got people lined up for the next 3 weeks, very different topics coming on here, talking to you as online course creators, coaches, and let me help you out. Let me bring guests on here, just like Annie today. So make sure to subscribe and we'll keep you updated. So thanks ever so much, Annie. Thank you all for coming on here, and we'll say bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.